present. We are going to discuss the logic for the Armstrong number first, and we are going to discuss on the basis of any length of the number. It means if the number is 153, because it is 3-digit number, so it has to be 1 cube, 1 cube, then plus 5 cube. See, this is how we can represent power also. Not in the language, remember this thing. In the language, we are going to use exponent 2 times and then 3 cube. It is something like this. Fine. And if the number is of 4 digit, if the number is of 4 digit, for example, 9876, whatever it is. So it has to be 9 to the power 4 plus 8 to the power 4 plus 7 to the power 4 and plus 6 to the power 4. So 9 to the power 4 plus 8 to the power 4, something like this. Okay, and then so on. So we are going to make logic of this only. So ultimately we need to find the number from the, ask the number from the user, int input, and then enter any number. Enter any number. This is for Armstrong number. Okay, enter any number. Once the number is given by the user, you need to find the length. So length is equal to len is the function. Length of, see now length of any number we cannot find. So we are converting it into string. Okay, and if you don't wanted to do that, we have already discussed the logic that how to find the place value of any number. So with that also you can do this task. Okay. So once we are having the length of the number, now it is very easy. We know with the length, we will come to know that how many digits are there in the in that particular number. So now while my number is greater than 0, we need to find the remainder, the last value, which is equal to n mod 10. Once I am having the remainder, sum is equal to sum plus whatever is my remainder to the power L this time. Remember this thing, because L will indicate what is the length. Initially, sum we need to take it as a 0. Okay, this you have to keep in your mind. Previously, when we have discussed in the class, that time we were using 3 over here, because 3 was indicating that it was constant value. But now, whatever will be the length of the string, means whatever will be the length of that number, that only we are going to use over here for the power part. Okay, because ultimately this is how we find for the Armstrong number. And then after that, once this is done, then what we have to do is we have to reduce my number. So n is equal to n by 10. Okay, that's it. And once we are out, we need to compare if my original number, that also I'll make, fine. If my original number is equal to my sum, then we will print that it is Armstrong. It is Armstrong. Else we will print it is not Armstrong. Else print not Armstrong. Okay, so ultimately this original we have to store it with the value of n. We will check this first, that how it is working. Enter any number, 153. So it is working perfectly, Armstrong number. And if I will take any other number, 123, so it is not an Armstrong number, fine. Now the next question was within a range. If you have to find, now see, first of all, remember this thing that it is going to work for any number, any digits. Okay, 3 digit, 4 digit, 5 digit, with anyone it is going to work. Now the next question was, suppose if we need to find within a given range, as we were discussing, fine. So we will take one more value. We are having n, then we am taking last also. Last is equal to int input enter last value. And now here I will make some change, that enter any numbers, instead of that enter first value. Okay, now we will see, here user is giving first value, here user is giving last value. Length, one time only we need to find for the n original number. Now see, this is what every time we need to do. So till the time while my n is less than or equal to my last value, I need to do this every time. Original, I have to create every time with respect to my n, then sum every time I have to reduce my number and all, everything. So I need to shift it. Now see over here, instead of printing this Armstrong number, I need to print that number itself. So whatever is my number, that I need to print, else I'm not going to do anything. And once this is over, every time n is equal to n plus 1. As I said, because we wanted to run the loop from the first till the last. Okay, so we need to increment the value of n. Otherwise, every time value of n will be the first value. So therefore, sorry, instead of this, we will be writing original. Because n we have reduced to the 0, fine. So original. And this I'm writing for the first time also. And then I'm going to write again and again for the next time also. So instead of this, original is equal to original plus 1, because ultimately what we are doing with the n, we are changing it to the 0. Original. We will check this now. We will check this, how it is working. First value, last value, 900. Fine. So what we have done over here, first value we have given 100, last value we have given 900. So from 1 till 900, whatever Armstrong number we were having, everything it has printed. Okay, only one mistake was there, that original value I'm storing it in n. The reason is because ultimately whenever I'll execute this while loop, no, every time value of n will become 0. So therefore I need to store it. I need to every time redefine the value of n with the new whatever is the original value for the next time. Now let me know if you have any doubt with this. Anyone, any doubt with this? Clear? Twinkle, any doubt?
Ma'am, in first while loop, why we are assigning a sum as 0, not previously only?
This one, see, whenever you are going to find the sum, okay, so what you need to do is, for every number your sum should start with 0, no? Otherwise, what you will, if this sum is equal to 0, you are going to write over here, means above this while loop. Then in that particular case, all the digits, 111, 112, 113, 114, or whatever digits they are having, no, everything will be added, and that will be added in the sum. So therefore, for every number, first my sum is 0, then for all the digit of that number, I'm finding the sum. Just say, for example, if you have 151, you will be finding sum separately. Then for 152, you will be finding sum separately. Fine. So suppose if I wanted to do the sum for 152, again I need to put my sum 0 first. Then for 152, I will find whatever is the sum of digit of cube. Okay. Then when 153 will come, again I need to make my sum as 0. Otherwise, whatever I was having for 152 will be there in that sum. Therefore, I need to change it.
And ma'am, what about this n equals to ORI?
1 minute. Now see, this is 1000 and this is 9000. See, actually we are checking that whether it is applicable for this or no. And if you wanted to cross check, you can cross check 1 to the power 6 plus, sorry, 1 to the power 4 plus 6 to the power 4 plus 3 to the power 4 plus 4 to the power 4. You can see I'm getting the same number. Okay, this is what we were cross checking. Yes, Twinkle, what you were asking?
Ma'am, why we are giving n equals to ORI here also?
See why we are giving like this, no? Because ultimately whenever you will execute this while loop, this n will become 0. Okay, so for next time, what is my n? Which is this particular value, original value. Initially my original value, suppose I'm taking another example, suppose it was 1000. Okay, so 1000 is my n. For n I am checking whether it is Armstrong or not. If it is there, then I'm printing. If it is not there, I'm not printing. But ultimately this n will become 0. So what I'm doing over here, first I'm making my 1000 as 1000 plus 1. So my new number is 1001. That only I'm giving to n. Then I'm again finding.
Okay, ma'am.
Clear or not clear?
Clear, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Any other student, any other doubt? Okay, fine. So we are going to discuss again, continue with the tuples. Okay. See, we have done up to this one, difference between list and tuples. Now today we are going to discuss again one more thing, immutable and mutable type. What about tuple? It is mutable or immutable?
Immutable.
Immutable. It means you can change or you cannot change.
We cannot change.
We cannot change. And see, we have already seen this difference. If I'm making my tuple something like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if I'm writing a of 2 is equal to 34 is not allowed. You cannot use assignment statement over here, means you cannot make changes in that. But suppose if it is your list, we have already discussed this also, that if it is my list, in that particular case, if I write this statement, it will work perfectly. And if you will print a, you can see that it has changed over here. Okay, so this is what the difference between list and the tuple. Now the next thing is, if you wanted to traverse in the tuple. Traversing a tuple means you wanted to visit each and every element of a tuple. So first we are going to make the tuple again. Suppose I am taking any name randomly. For example, I am writing here OLOPCS and I wanted to traverse one by one. Simple for you take any counter in and then you write your tuple name A and then print all the values of I. That's it. So what it is going to do? It is going to print each and every element character by character. So if you need anything character by character, for example, suppose if now I can give you one question that you have to count how many vowels are there. Can you count how many vowels are there in this? Can you count how many vowels are there in this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
It is too easy. One I am explaining you. Fine. See, what you have to understand that you are now able to fetch each and every character individually. So if you need to count, you can take your counter initially as 0 and then for I in A and then with after that, because we know now in I we will get all the characters one by one. First O, then L, then O, then P, then C, then S. So directly I can check if I in, and then in the quote I can write A, E, I, O, U, because these are all my vowels only, plus A, E, I, O, U. If it is in that particular category, I need to increment my counter. So my count is equal to count plus 1. Okay, that's it. And once this is over, once I am out of the loop, I need to simply print the value of count. So total vowels are, and then I can print the value of count. See why I'm explaining you? Because what you have to understand, once you are able to traverse, it means you can fetch the information. So it is given, see total vowels are 2. You change this and you'll get something different. A, I, then whatever it is. Okay, now if I will run this, you can see that it is counting perfectly. Total vowels are 7. If you will see here, these are 7 only. Okay, so this is how we can do traversing in the tuple. That is the first thing. Then next thing is, we have one more thing. Suppose I wanted to do traversing in reverse. It means, see, suppose I'm giving you one question. You try to do it by yourself. This is OLO PCS and I wanted to just print this in the reverse order. Reverse order means first S, then C, then P, then O, then L, then O. Okay. Then how we will do traversing? This type of traversing will not work in that particular case. Now let me know how to do traversing. Just try to make it by yourself. See, this is for first type of traversing, where basically what we are doing, we are traversing by using for loop, but in tuple with respect to a character by character, fine, or individually by elements. Now suppose I can do the traversing with respect to the indexes. So that is what you should know. If you wanted to do traversing with respect to indexes, so we used to write range, and after range we are going to use the length. So length of my tuple A. Now see, if it is OLO PCS, length will be 6. Okay. And ultimately what I'm going to get in the value as a value of I from 0 till 5. First, I'll show you that. So we have already done this, but now suppose if I'll print the value of I, what I will be getting? From 0 till 5. So see, ultimately what I'm getting all the indexes. Now, instead of getting indexes, I need to print the value at that particular index. So A of I, if I'm writing here now A of I, and then if I'll execute this, now you can see it is printing OLO PCS. So this is what we have discussed, just like how we can do forward traversing. Now the same thing I have to do, but this time I need to do backward traversing. So instead of 0 till length of A, I can just do reverse of that. Length of A minus 1 till 0. And step I need to give of minus 1. Okay, I'll be getting one problem over here. What is the problem over here? As I said, I will be getting one problem. Let me know what.
Ma'am, O is missing.
Why O is missing now?
Ma'am, because you have done -1 here.
Because
In length.
there's nahi, because I have used here 0 and last value is excluded. Okay, now you can see OLO PCS working perfectly. Is this is clear how to do backward traversing also? Anyone, any doubt? Again, I am repeating. First, I was printing from 0 till 0 till 5. Now I am printing from 5 till 0. Because, but by default, in the range function, it is always incrementing. So if you want it to decrement, you need to give the step by yourself manually or explicitly. I hope this is clear how to do this. And now you see if you have tuple of any word also, OLO PCS, then computer, then science, then Python. Now what will be the answer this time? See, you can see it is printing in the reverse direction, and that too word by word. Means whatever was my last value has been printed first. Okay, then second last value, second, then third last value, third place, and fourth last value at the last. Okay, so this is what you need to understand, traversing in both the direction. Now some plus and minus with the tuples. See, the next thing that you need to understand is that suppose if we wanted to join two tuples, for example, I am having A is equal to, only we have to see whether allowed or not allowed. 1, 2, 3. And my second tuple is, because here only we have to check whether we can add or we cannot add 4, 5, 6. Then A plus B. See, working perfectly. If you are writing something like this, C is equal to A plus B, that will also work perfectly. Fine. If you wanted to see the type of C in that particular case, you can see it is again tuple. So the very first thing is you can add tuple. Okay. We will see one more thing. A is equal to A plus B. Okay, this is the main thing that you need to understand. If you are writing A is equal to A plus B, then also it is working perfectly. Now my question is, we are saying that it is immutable. Okay, every time we are saying it is immutable, and but then also you see we have done like this. Why so? Actually, this answer we have already discussed, but again I am repeating this question. Nobody is clear. I'm repeating my question. We are saying that tuples are immutable, and here you can see A plus B I'm storing in A only. So how it is possible?
Because ma'am, we concatenate the tuples.
Anything else? Concatenation means what? You are adding more elements no, in the tuple.
Yes, ma'am.
So that should not be allowed. But if you will see this is what we are doing with everything. Every immutable type we are doing this. It is not like only with the tuple we are able to do. Fine. Again and again, I'm repeating only one thing, that if you are writing like this, it is only changing the reference. You are not actually changing in the memory location of the original A. Okay, means where your 1, 2, 3 was there, that you are still not able to modify. What you have done is only you have changed the location of A. Instead of pointing to 1, 2, 3, now it is pointing to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it. Still, if you wanted to make any change within these information, you will be not able to make the changes. Fine. So this you need to keep in your mind. Okay, so if we will concatenate the tuple, there is no problem. Now tuple with tuple is allowed, but tuple with other data types, that again we need to see. For example, if I write A plus 5, not allowed. Okay, A plus, then after that I am writing any string type of information. Again, you can see not allowed. Then A plus, I am writing here list. Again, you can see not allowed. Only tuple can be added with tuple. So A plus, if I'm going to write here 3, 4, 5, you can see it will be allowed in this particular case. And why it is allowed? The reason is only tuple can be added with tuple and not with any other data type. Okay. One more important thing. If I write A plus 8, what will be the answer? Anyone?
Ma'am, 8 will be added in the tuple.
Any other answer?
Ma'am, error will be there.
Why error?
Ma'am, because we have not put the comma here.
Exactly. In the last class also we have discussed the same thing. Because right now if you will see this is not tuple. To make it as a tuple, because it is single value, The syntax is to write comma. Then it will be allowed and it will be added in the tuple. Is this clear now? Okay, then next thing is if we wanted to do replication. Replications are also allowed. For example, we are going to use multiply for replication. Multiply by 4, suppose. So it is going to multiply. Multiply means it is going to replicate that many times. So it is allowed, replication. Then slicing of the tuple, already we have discussed, slicing is also allowed. Slicing is also allowed means suppose now if you are going to write 1:3, what will be the answer?
1, 2.
2, 3, because it is 0 index. This is 1 index, 2 index, 3 is excluded. Okay. Then after this, suppose if I'm going to write 1 and -3, what will be the answer? Will
Ma'am, 2, 3, 4.
see, if you will see this, -3 is given, no? This is -1, -2 and -3. -3 excluded, yani only these values you can use because the -3 is excluded. So 1, 2 and 2, 3 and then this is excluded. Now suppose if I'm going to write -1, -3. These all slicing we have already discussed now. We are only simply revising these all slicing.
4, 5, 6.
Why empty?
Ma'am, because order is not correct.
Order is not correct. You can see over here.
We have to give a
By
step.
default, the step is 1. Fine. Now here also you will think that step is 1. But see, when you are ultimately you are able to reach to -3. If you are using this counter also, no, if you are going to add in this one again and again, ultimately you are able to reach to this particular location. No doubt right now over here it is -3. But it is also a positive index also. So once when you will reach to the positive index of -3, then it will work fine. But here you will never reach from -1 till -3 because ultimately when we are adding, no, it will not give you the answer. If you will write reverse of this, it will work perfectly. It means -3 colon -1. If you will write -3 till -1, if you will write, you see will work perfectly. Because from -3 till -1, you can easily reach out. So slicing, again, it is same as we were discussing previously. Then after that, suppose we wanted to compare the tuples, A and B. You wanted to compare tuple, you can simply write like this, A is equal to B. It will directly compare something like this. A is equal to, you wanted to compare it with 1, 2, 3. Now let me know why false. See, A is also having 1, 2, 3. Achha, sorry, A is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll compare the same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, fine. Working perfectly. Now it is showing you the same answer because A was having 4, 5, 6 also. See, now one more thing you can compare with respect to relational operator. For example, A is greater than B. I'm showing you both the values again. A is this, B is this, then A is greater than B. It is giving false. See, you can see that total 6 elements are there in A and B is having only 5. Then also, sorry, only 3. Then also it is showing you that A is not greater than B. So how it is comparing? Anyone, any idea?
Memory location, ma'am.
No, with respect to the value, it has compared first value with first. 1 with 4. So that 1 with 4 only if you will compare, no, you will get false as the answer. For example, I'm taking one more tuple and I'm writing here 2, 2. Okay. A is greater than B if I'll write. Now see it is comparing 1 with, that we have already checked. If I'm going to compare A with C, You can see it is giving false. Why it is giving false? I am checking 1 is greater than 2. False. But if I'll write B is greater than C. Now you can see it is showing me true. Why it is showing me true? Because now it is comparing 4 with 2. This was true. Then it is comparing 5 with 2. Again, this is true. So therefore, it is giving me true as an answer. Achha, I am changing the value of C to, I am taking one more tuple, 2, 2, 3. Okay. And then I am comparing B is greater than D. Now let me know what answer will be there. Any one of you.
True.
See, it is true. Now what you have to understand that how it is true. First, it was comparing 4 with 2. So this is correct. Then it is comparing 5 with 2. Again correct. Then 6 with 2. Means what it has done, every respective element it has compared, and then on the basis of that, till the time it is true, it is going to check till the end. And if it is false, then it is not going to check for the remaining all values. I hope this comparison is also clear to all of you, that how you are going to compare in the tuples. Okay. So as per your book, up to page number 428, you have to go through each and every topics. And then we are going to discuss all the remaining part later on. You have to do 2 homeworks. The very first homework is you have to take input of a tuple from the user, and you have to find the total of all all even numbers separately, all odd numbers separately. For example, if I am having a tuple something like this, 5, 6, 7, 8. Suppose this is my tuple. So what you need to do is 5 plus 6, whatever is the answer, and 6 plus 8 means even value sum separately and odd value sum separately. Very easy answer. Okay? And then fine, this much only. This work you have to do, and page number 428. Up to that you have to read. Any other doubt? Okay, then good day all of you.
Good day, ma'am.